In the face of death, only humans recognize their own smallness and limitations, while also posing profound questions related to this essential truth. So what if I told you that the most important journey of your life isn't the one you are living now, but the one you will take after death? Do our daily experiences in this life, each decision, every emotion, belief, or attachment, determine what happens in that moment? Today, let us explore a hidden truth from the Tibetan Book of the Dead and consider whether death is truly an end, or if it is merely an important transition, a challenge to everything we have ever known about dying. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the Top Hidden Knowledge channel to stay updated on everything related to personal and spiritual growth. Now, let's get started. In those fleeting moments after you take your final breath, your mind will confront challenges beyond anything you've ever experienced. You'll encounter breathtaking visions of radiant lights, the presence of awe-inspiring yet frightening deities, and an overwhelming array of choices. In this state, how you respond can determine whether you achieve liberation or become ensnared in the relentless cycle of suffering and rebirth. Here's the twist. Without preparation, most of us falter. We grasp onto fear, losing ourselves in a maze of illusions. We cling to what we know, repeating the same painful patterns of confusion, attachment, and dread. The natural tendency of the untrained mind is to panic, to resist the unknown, and to be overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of these transitional moments. This is why understanding what happens next isn't just a curiosity, it's a necessity. Pretending this moment won't come doesn't stop it from arriving. It's like closing your eyes and hoping the storm will disappear. Instead, we need to prepare ourselves to navigate this terrain with awareness and courage. Stay with me as we explore the ancient wisdom of the Bardos, those mysterious spaces that lie between life, death, and rebirth. The insights you gain here could spell the difference between freedom and an eternity of suffering. The real question is, when that crucial moment comes, will you be ready to meet it with clarity and grace, or will you be swept away by fear? In the teachings of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the word bardo holds profound significance. It refers to an in-between state, a transition between two realms of existence. While many people associate the Bardos solely with the journey from life to death, the reality is much broader. Our entire lives are woven from a continuous series of Bardos. Each moment of change, the end of one relationship, the beginning of a new job, the transition from waking to sleeping, is a bardo. Life itself is an ongoing dance of beginnings, endings, and the delicate, uncertain spaces that connect them. Recognizing these bardos while we are still alive allows us to meet transitions with greater awareness. The better we understand these in-between states now, the more skillfully we can navigate the ultimate transition when it arrives. The journey through the Bardos is not something to be feared, but something to be mastered, a path to liberation, if only we are ready to walk it. Consider this: every moment we live is a bridge between what has been and what is yet to come. A decision yet to be made, a conflict unresolved, or the hesitation before a leap of faith. These are all Bardos in their own right. These are the pauses in the rhythm of existence, the gaps where transformation is possible. Buddhist teachings remind us that nothing in life is permanent. Every experience, every relationship, every achievement is in flux. To live is to be caught in this constant flow, where every moment is shaped by the echoes of the past and the seeds of the future. When we recognize this impermanence, life reveals its fragile beauty and profound potential. But the Bardos of life are not only about change, they are opportunities. Opportunities to face uncertainty with courage, to transform suffering into wisdom, and to awaken to the deeper truths of our existence. The space between what was and what will be holds the power to redefine who we are. Think about moments of great emotion, joy, anger, sorrow, or fear. In these moments, we are suspended, feeling as though time itself has paused. These too are Bardos, and within them lies the possibility of insight. If we can observe our reactions, if we can sit within the discomfort or bliss without clinging to it, we begin to glimpse the nature of mind itself, what Tibetan Buddhists call dharmata, the essence of reality. The Bardos of daily life mirror the greater Bardos of existence. Just as the text guides us through the stages of dying, it also teaches us how to navigate the in-between states of living. Whether it's the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, or simply the uncertainty of the future, these moments invite us to let go, trust the unfolding process, and awaken to the present. As we walk through the Bardos of life, we're called to meet each moment with mindfulness and courage. The key is awareness that every ending births a beginning, and every beginning carries within it the lessons of what came before. To truly live is to embrace these transitions, not as obstacles, but as sacred thresholds. In doing so, we prepare ourselves for the ultimate bardo, the transition from life to death. But more importantly, we transform the way we experience this life, turning each moment into a step on the path to liberation. The moment of dying, according to the Tibetan Book of the Dead, is not an ending but a profound transition. It is a passage, a bardo, where consciousness begins to loosen its ties to the physical body and enter a state of extraordinary clarity and potential. This phase, known as the bardo of dying, is one of the most critical and transformative stages in our journey. In these final moments, the world as we know it starts to dissolve. The senses fade one by one, like a candle dimming in the wind. Sight, sound, taste, and touch give way to an inner awareness as the mind begins its inward journey. For the dying person, this can be a time of great peace or intense fear, depending on their level of preparation and understanding. The teachings describe this stage as a progressive detachment, a peeling away of the layers of identity and ego. First, the physical body is left behind, followed by the emotional and mental constructs we've clung to throughout life. What remains is the pure essence of mind, luminous and boundless. This is the dharmata, the radiant nature of reality. As the outer world fades, the inner world comes alive. Vibrant lights, vivid colors, and powerful sounds may appear, manifestations of the mind itself. For the unprepared, these can seem overwhelming, even terrifying. But for those who recognize them for what they truly are, projections of their own consciousness, these visions become a doorway to liberation. At the heart of this experience is the clear light, a state of absolute purity and clarity. This is the moment when the essence of the mind reveals itself, unobstructed and infinite. For those who can recognize this light and merge with it, the cycle of samsara, the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, can be broken. They awaken to the ultimate reality, achieving liberation. However, if the mind is clouded by fear, attachment, or ignorance, this opportunity can slip away. Instead of merging with the clear light, the consciousness is drawn back into familiar patterns, seeking comfort in the known, clinging to past desires, or recoiling in fear from the unfamiliar. This sets the stage for the next phase, encountering the peaceful and wrathful deities. The peaceful deities represent the compassionate and serene aspects of the mind. They appear as luminous, benevolent figures, offering guidance and the possibility of awakening. If we can recognize these as reflections of our own inner wisdom, they become allies, showing us the way to enlightenment. But if we fail to see them for what they are, the peaceful deities transform into their wrathful counterparts, fierce, powerful beings that embody our deepest fears. These wrathful deities are not punishments or external forces. They are our unresolved emotions magnified and projected outward. Their purpose is not to harm, but to shock us into awakening. This interplay of light, sound, and form mirrors the struggles we face in life. Just as we confront challenges in our daily existence, the bardo of dying asks us to meet our fears head-on. It is a test of our ability to let go, to surrender our attachments, judgments, and the illusion of control. Yet, even in these moments of fear, there is hope. The text reminds us again and again, recognition is liberation. The key is to understand that everything we see and feel in the bardo is a creation of our own mind. By recognizing this, we can dissolve the illusions and step into the freedom that has always been our true nature. For those unable to recognize the clear light or the deities, the journey continues into the next bardo, the bardo of becoming. Here, consciousness prepares for rebirth, drawn by karmic forces toward the conditions of a new life. Even at this stage, opportunities for liberation remain, but they require intense focus and courage to seize. What makes the bardo of dying so profound is its mirror-like quality. It reflects the truths of life itself, the impermanence of all things, the power of the mind, and the potential for awakening. At every moment, in life as in death, our ability to meet the unknown with awareness determines our freedom. This is why the teachings of the Tibetan Book of the Dead emphasize preparation. By practicing mindfulness, compassion, and the recognition of our own luminous nature in daily life, we equip ourselves to face the ultimate transition with clarity and grace. In doing so, death becomes not an end, but a gateway to our highest potential. In the teachings of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the 6 realms of existence are described not as physical places, but as states of consciousness, reflections of the mind shaped by our emotions and actions. These realms serve as both metaphors for our internal experiences and as guides for understanding the cycles of samsara, the endless loop of birth, death, and rebirth. Each realm is born from a dominant emotional energy, trapping consciousness in its patterns. Yet, within these patterns lies the potential for awakening. Let's explore these 6 realms, their characteristics, and the insights they offer for liberation. The first is the realm of hell, a state dominated by aggression, hatred, and rage. This realm is not fiery punishment in the traditional sense, but a reflection of intense suffering born from unresolved anger. It can feel like being trapped in unrelenting torment, whether through fiery passions that burn from within or the icy isolation of bitterness and resentment. This realm teaches us the destructive power of anger and the freedom that comes with forgiveness and compassion. Next is the realm of hungry ghosts, shaped by insatiable desire and greed. Hungry ghosts are depicted as beings with enormous bellies and narrow throats, endlessly craving but never satisfied. This realm mirrors the human experience of longing, seeking fulfillment in material possessions, status, or relationships, only to find that satisfaction remains out of reach. It reminds us that true contentment lies not in external acquisitions, but in inner peace. The animal realm arises from ignorance and complacency. It represents a life of instinctual living, where one avoids facing deeper truths or seeking growth. In this state, existence is ruled by fear, survival, and routine, with little curiosity or awareness. The animal realm teaches us the dangers of intellectual laziness and the need to remain open and engaged with life's mysteries. The human realm is unique. It is marked by desire, passion, and ambition, but also by creativity and potential. This realm offers a balance between suffering and opportunity, making it the ideal state for pursuing enlightenment. Yet, it is also fraught with doubt, dissatisfaction, and an endless striving for more. Here, we learn the importance of gratitude, mindfulness, and using our human existence as a bridge to higher awareness. The realm of jealous gods, or asuras, is shaped by envy and a sense of competition. Here, beings are consumed by rivalry, constantly comparing themselves to others and striving for dominance. This realm reflects the human tendency to measure self-worth through external validation and success. It reminds us that true fulfillment comes not from superiority, but from cooperation and humility. Finally, the realm of the gods represents pleasure, pride, and a sense of invincibility. It is a state of immense joy and comfort, yet it is deceptive. Because this realm offers such ease, its inhabitants often forget impermanence and fail to prepare for inevitable change. The God realm teaches us the value of spiritual diligence, even in times of comfort, reminding us that no state, no matter how blissful, is eternal. What makes these realms so powerful is their dual nature. On one hand, they represent emotional traps that keep us bound to the cycle of samsara. On the other, they are opportunities for transformation. The anger of the hell realm can become clarity and strength when faced with awareness. The longing of the hungry ghost realm can lead to compassion for others who suffer. And so, the 6 realms are not distant or abstract. They are present within each of us, appearing moment by moment in our emotions, choices, and reactions. Every time we feel anger, we enter the hell realm. Each moment of greed pulls us into the hungry ghost realm. Even the bliss of accomplishment can reflect the God realm. These realms are reflections of the mind, and our journey through them depends on our awareness. The ultimate teaching of the Tibetan Book of the Dead is that these realms are not fixed. They are illusions created by the mind, and their power over us dissolves when we recognize them as such. By cultivating mindfulness, compassion, and the wisdom to see through these illusions, we can rise above the six realms and awaken to our true nature. The six realms remind us that suffering and liberation are two sides of the same coin. When we face our inner worlds with courage and clarity, we begin to transform the very states that bind us into stepping stones toward enlightenment. Within the teachings of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, a powerful truth is revealed. Liberation is not found through escaping the cycles of life and death, but by recognizing the nature of mind itself. This path is known as liberation through recognition, and it forms the cornerstone of the book's wisdom. At its heart, this teaching reminds us that the visions, sounds, and lights we encounter in the Bardos, whether in life, death, or rebirth, are not external forces. They are projections of our own consciousness, reflections of the mind's vast potential. The peaceful deities, the wrathful deities, and the radiant lights all arise from within us. The key is learning to recognize them for what they truly are. The moment of recognition is profound. It is the instant when the illusions of separation dissolve, and the mind sees its true nature, luminous, infinite, and inseparable from the fabric of existence. This is what the text calls dharmata, the essence of reality. For those who can recognize it, the cycle of samsara is broken, and liberation is immediate. But why is this recognition so difficult? The mind, conditioned by lifetimes of fear, attachment, and delusion, clings to what it knows. When the clear light appears, the pure, radiant essence of mind, many turn away, frightened by its brilliance. Instead, they grasp at familiar patterns, drawn back into the illusions of identity and desire. This is why preparation is vital. The Tibetan Book of the Dead emphasizes the importance of spiritual practice in daily life, so that when the moment comes, the mind is ready. It's through meditation, mindfulness, and cultivating awareness that we train ourselves to meet the unknown with openness rather than fear. In the Bardo of Dying, consciousness is presented with extraordinary opportunities for liberation. The luminous clear light appears, offering the ultimate chance to awaken. But if this is missed, the journey continues through encounters with peaceful and wrathful deities. These figures are not to be feared. They are aspects of our own wisdom, reflecting both our potential and our unresolved emotions. The peaceful deities represent serenity, compassion, and the boundless nature of mind. They extend a hand of guidance, inviting us to merge with their light and wisdom. If we can recognize them as expressions of our true self, they become doorways to enlightenment. The wrathful deities, on the other hand, embody the raw power of transformation. They may seem terrifying, but their energy is a reflection of our inner strength. Their ferocity shatters the illusions that bind us, urging us to confront and transcend our fears. Recognition of these deities, whether peaceful or wrathful, is liberation. This teaching is not confined to the afterlife. In daily life, we encounter countless opportunities for recognition. Every emotion, every thought, every experience is a reflection of the mind. When we face anger, can we see it as a projection rather than an absolute truth? When we experience joy, can we recognize it as the mind's natural luminosity? Every moment is a chance to awaken. The light and sounds of the Bardos are metaphors for the challenges and opportunities we encounter in life. The bright, radiant lights represent wisdom, clarity, and the potential for transcendence. The softer, dimmer lights symbolize attachment and comfort, drawing us back into the familiar patterns of samsara. To recognize the bright light and choose it over the dim is to step toward liberation. Even in the face of fear or uncertainty, the Tibetan Book of the Dead reminds us that liberation is always possible. It is as simple and as profound as recognizing that everything we experience is a projection of the mind. The moment we see through the illusion, we awaken to our true nature. This is why the text is both a guide for the dying and a manual for the living. The same principles apply whether we are navigating the Bardos of death or the challenges of daily life. By practicing recognition, We learn to face life's transitions with grace, and we prepare ourselves for the ultimate transition when it comes. The message is clear: liberation is not something we achieve, it is something we realize. It is already within us, waiting to be seen. The light of awareness, the wisdom of the deities, the radiance of the clear light, all these are aspects of the same truth, the boundless nature of the mind. In the end, the path of liberation is not about escaping the cycle of life and death, but about understanding it. By recognizing the projections of the mind and merging with the luminous essence of reality, we transcend the illusions of samsara. Liberation is nothing less than the full realization of who we have always been. The Tibetan Book of the Dead offers a timeless message, a guide not just for the transition of death, but for the journey of life itself. At its heart, it calls us to recognize the truth that lies within each moment, that liberation is always possible, and the essence of who we are is luminous and infinite. Life and death are not opposites, they are parts of the same eternal cycle. Just as the seasons change, so too do we. And within every change, every transition, lies a profound opportunity for awakening. The book reminds us that death is not an end, it is a passage, a chance to transcend fear, attachment, and illusion, and to merge with the radiant nature of reality. But the ultimate teaching is this: the lessons of death are lessons for life. In the same way that we navigate the Bardos after death, we can meet the transitions of daily life with awareness and courage. Every moment of hesitation, every challenge, and every emotional surge is an invitation to recognize the luminous essence of our mind. The book's wisdom is clear. Liberation is not something we find outside of ourselves. It is not reserved for monks or mystics. It is the birthright of every being, waiting to be realized. When we let go of fear and see through the projections of the mind, we awaken to our true nature, a state of boundless clarity and compassion. In preparing for death, we learn what it means to truly live. The realization that our time is finite sharpens our appreciation for each breath, each sunrise, and each connection we make. By embracing the impermanence of all things, we uncover the extraordinary beauty hidden within life's ordinary moments. When we stop clinging to what's temporary, we free ourselves to experience life with greater depth, authenticity, and joy. And in recognizing the light within us, that core of awareness and compassion, we don't just guide ourselves through life's challenges, but also become a beacon for others. Our courage to face the unknown, to meet transitions with grace, and to walk through our own Bardos inspires those around us to do the same. Our light, when shared, grows brighter. As we come to the end of this journey through the teachings of the Tibetan Book of the Dead, I invite you to pause and reflect. Where in your own life do you recognize a bardo, a moment of transition, uncertainty, or possibility? Perhaps it's that crossroads in your career, the delicate shift in a relationship, or the space between an old habit and a new beginning. These are the thresholds where transformation can happen if we face them with awareness rather than fear. Ask yourself, how often do you get lost in the stories your mind tells you? The anxieties, the expectations, the projections. What if you could step back, see these mental constructs for what they really are, and respond from a place of clarity and presence? The ultimate purpose of these teachings isn't to encourage you to flee from life or fear the inevitability of death. Instead, it is to awaken you to the limitless potential of your own consciousness. When you cultivate this awareness, you begin to live with a profound sense of connection, to yourself, to others, and to the flow of existence itself. You inhabit each moment fully, with peace and purpose. In the end, the journey through the Bardos isn't a journey into darkness or uncertainty. It is a journey into the very essence of who we truly are. It's a return to our most authentic, fearless, and luminous selves. What are your thoughts on the knowledge presented above? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for dedicating your time to this video. We hope it has been both useful and inspiring. Don't forget to subscribe to the Top Hidden Knowledge channel for more content on wisdom, spirituality, and personal growth. If this video resonated with you, share it with others who might benefit. Thank you for watching. And if you have time, check out other videos on this channel. Until next time.